Hey, welcome back to another episode of Lost Sheep of Israel. Um, Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Um, Let me just start by even before I go into a rant, I'm going to give all praises to the Most High. Kahalal, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Kahalal, Yahweh Bashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Um, so here we go. Halloween 2019. And I got to go into a rant to rebuke this holiday, another pagan holiday that we flock to as a people when it has nothing to do with us, when we shouldn't be celebrating this, when it's highly evil, highly plagued with demonic foundation, and you want to go out and perform this ritual. It's a ritual to perform Halloween, and you do it ritualistically every year because you say it's for the kids. But I see adults dressing up. I see front yards just played with demonic skeletons, ghouls, ghosts, demons, you name it. Um, you go out trick or treating, and you promote this stuff. So, but dare we ask you to participate in one of God's holidays, to try to keep the commandments, to love your God as prescribed by the scriptures. And this is no way. You'll just shed it off. You'll even try to rebuke the prophets that are trying to promote wellness in you. But I don't see you having a problem with this holiday. Um, but let's go right to it because I'm not gonna make it long. This is gonna be a short rant, man. But we're just gonna hit some quick points, man. Let's go to Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6, because this is the problem. This is a big problem because, of course, because you don't understand who you are. Uh, I've given plenty of lessons as who we are as a people and why we need to start straying away um, from these customs. All right. And so let's go to it. Hosea 4 and 6 reads, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten my law, Salakia, the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children." So you say you do this for the kids, but everything you do, you want to make the excuse, oh well, the kids, they have to have fun. Let's do it all for the children. What kind of life is this if the kids can't enjoy it? I mean, there's not going to be any enjoyment in the Most High rejecting your children, because your children are a reflection of what you instill in them. So this is a generational curse that keeps on and on and on and on, and it's a cycle that we have to break at some point, right? And I rebuke this day in the name of Yahweh Shai, that this day someone wakes up to this truth and says, I will not participate in demonic rituals if I believe in the Most High God. And I want to please the Most High God. And this is not pleasing to the Most High God. In fact, with that, let's go to Amos 5 and 21. Okay, because Do you think that the Most High God approves of this day? Approves that you're out there celebrating demonic, paganistic rituals instead of putting Him first and putting His high holy days before all this crap? So this is what the Most High has to say about these holidays. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Okay, so let me go one up because I want you to understand what Halloween is. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? Okay, I despise your feast days. I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Okay, so these rituals are a pagan tradition. Let me give you the 411 on Halloween. This is stuff you can Google yourself. You know, you guys celebrate things and you have no understanding what you worship. In fact, see, John 4 and 22 says, Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. Well, that's a big cut right there, because this is going into also doing a direct cut to thinking that this is open to everybody when it's only open to the Israelites. This is a good cut for that as well. But on top of that, this is a good precept because you don't know what you're worshiping. You don't do the research. You don't understand who you are. Like Hosea 4 and 6 said, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And this is why the Most High will eventually destroy you if you don't come out of these things and out of these rituals and out of these traditions and if out of the way of the heathen. Okay? He says, be ye separate. Learn not the way of the heathen. But there you go. You want to follow your slave master and his pagan traditions and his pagan ways. Okay? This was all brought forward by the Edomite, by Esau, with his traditions that date back to paganism. Okay? Even when they gave you so-called Christianity, it was a cover-up for their paganistic ways. Okay? They didn't want to give up their gods, but they wanted to appease the masses, so they gave you all these different saints and holidays to mask their pagan gods behind. Okay? And this one holiday is paying homage to the god of darkness. At that, the god of darkness. I want to say his. I don't care to pronounce his name correctly, but it's Shamahain, whatever the hell. And this is a pagan ritual in dedication to him. This is how Halloween got started, as a Gaelic Celtic tradition. Esau, cracker shit that they brought and they're imposing on you. And by all means, they are well happy that our people are celebrating it in this nonsense and madness, because this is furthermore pulling you away from being a nation and paying homage to your God and exalting your God. So they're well in their comfort zone as long as you're exalting their gods, their pagan gods, which they're no gods of yours. Okay, but this is a conspiracy against you, and you don't see it and you don't smell it. You're just falling right into the enemy's hands. You're falling into these evil spirit hands. But I'm gonna show you. I've read you this one plenty of times, but you gotta understand that there are forces working against you, working against the children of Israel. All right. so that you know that they are not for you, right? So let's go to Psalms 83 and 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they hate thee have lifted up the head. And they that hate thee, Salakia, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. So the people that hate you, they lift up their heads in this prideful manner. You know that if you're a person of color, Latino, Negro, or Native American, Israelite, and if you haven't heard this before and you're just tuning into my channel because it says rebuking Halloween or whatever, and you're hearing this for the first time, I'm here to tell you that the Negro, Latino, and Native American here in America is the scattered Israelites. We are the lost sheep of Israel. And Matthew 15 and 24 says that I only come for the lost sheep of Israel. This is from the words of Christ himself, that he's only coming for the Israelites. And if you need to go into other channels, other links in my channel, I welcome you to do that so that you can start learning that you are the very children of the Most High God. In fact, let's touch into that. I didn't want to go off the lesson plan too much, but the Spirit always takes you there. It always, I let myself be guided by God's Holy Spirit, which is in me, because I keep the commandments, because I do the Most High's will in my life. It is not my life. It is my life is dedicated to pleasing the Most High God, and I do it through obedience and following His statutes, laws, and commandments as we're supposed to do. And let not no one teach you different, because they are leading you astray, as Jeremiah 23 would say. Woe to those pastors that stray away the flock. Okay, so. And I'm paraphrasing, but you can go look that one up, because this is what's happening today. But the Most High is sending back the prophets so that you can learn correctly and start waking up if you're destined to wake up. The 1/3 of Israel that will be saved. 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed, and they're going to be destroyed for this very same madness. Not just because of Halloween, not just because of Thanksgiving, not because of Christmas. Yeah, Christmas too. When we get closer to Christmas, I'll do the Christmas breakdown, which has nothing to do with Christ. It's another pagan holiday. For you following these rituals, for you following this idolatry, for you following the ways of witchcraft, wizards and ghouls and goblins and demons, this is what's going to destroy you because of your lack of knowledge. Okay? Because you need to start waking up as a people and start standing up for yourself. Start standing up against all these paganistic traditions that are not our traditions. We need to get back to our ways. We need to start getting back to being the people that we are destined to be. Deuteronomy 7 and 6 will tell you, for thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Israelites are a holy people unto the Lord thy God. Okay? So the Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people. He chose you to be a special person. Okay? He didn't choose the Edomites. He didn't choose the Moabites. In fact, he despises those people. So you need to go deep into these lessons. Get in touch with an Israelite camp if you're in a city or in a town or in a state that has a camp. I'm not so fortunate to have a lot of brethren with me where I'm at. We're building up here now where I'm at in Texas. Okay, there are places in Texas, Dallas and Houston, but Texas is a big state. I live in West Texas, so my closest camp would be 6 hours away in Phoenix. Okay, but guess what? I'm here. I'm filling up this void with a couple of my brothers that have come, that have came into the truth, and the Lord has brought us together. We're few, but we're trying to build this up. Okay, for all praise to the Most High and His only begotten Son Yahushua. All right, and so, but I'll read this again. For the Lord art For thou art a holy people. Thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are on the face of the earth. So again, don't get this twisted. Salvation is not for everybody. We've broken this down. I've given you, look up the John 3:16 breakdown. If you think this is for everybody on the planet, I've broken this 6 ways to Sunday. You know, if you've been following along, you already know where this is headed. Okay. But for those that don't know and are tuning in for the first time, I'm always trying to preach the milky things of the word so that we can start always building. We're always building, and we're always going to build from that milk. Okay. Because other brothers, they may have more advanced classes and stuff, but I got to keep it milky all the time, because you never know when there's a new soul coming onto the channel, a new spirit coming onto the channel, and is destined to wake up. And I'm not saying it through my words or through my following, because I always say, never follow me, never follow. They're not my words. I only speak what comes out of these scriptures. I only speak what thus saith the Lord. So trust that there's nothing going to come out of the imagination of my mind, which the scriptures speak against. It's always going to be scripturally based and a scriptural foundation. I'm always going to give you the proof and the evidence, and the proof is in the pudding, and the pudding is the scriptures. Okay, so I'm going to always give you a little bit of a breakdown, okay? I'm going to try to break it to you Barney style, but it's coming from the scriptures, okay? So he says, above all the people upon the face of the earth, he chose a special people unto himself, okay? And those are the Israelites. And so if you need more understanding as far as who are the Israelites nowadays, how we got spread, how we migrated to the Americas, which is the New Age Babylon. Just go through some of the lessons, to search out Israelite camps in your area. We're here for you. I've given the breakdowns in my classes, so you can look them up as well. But yeah. And so the Negro came through the transatlantic slave trade, and us, the Northern Kingdom, which are the Latinos and the Native Americans, were here before them, and we migrated here through Ezra's routes to Azareth. This was called Azareth, where no man abided, and we started disembarking through all of the Americas. That's why Columbus came with Hebrew interpreters over here. That's why there's Paleo Hebrew writing in Las Lunas, New Mexico. I gave a class on that not too long ago, because I went and visited the site and saw it with my own eyes. What are the Indians writing in Paleo Hebrew if we weren't the Hebrews that were already here, establishing ourselves here? And then came your friendly neighborhood Edomite and destroyed us as a people. Okay, and that's why we have this lack of knowledge, because they destroyed us as a people. And so going back to Psalms 83, okay, because you got to understand what's going on here, right? For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they hate thee, and have lifted up the head. Okay, I'm going back to it. All right, so these people, they're never going to put you in a status where you're above them, or never going to even see you as an equal. So this equality crap that goes on, this is non-existent. It will never be. I don't know if you're hopeful, wishing, you expect that some miraculous thing is gonna happen where everybody's gonna hold hands and hug and kumbaya. It's not going to happen. Things just progressively get worse. Okay, and you got to understand this hatred that they have. Okay, and they that hate thee, okay, have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Aren't they always conspiring against us? Always figuring out how to put us in jail. Always trying to figure out how to keep us impoverished, how to keep us segregated into actually not segregated, because segregation actually was good for us when we was actually segregated from them. We were more about ourselves, but they keep us corralled in ghettos. Gentrification, just pushing us out of our neighborhoods and just condensing us more and more, till they choke the living hell out of us, and that's going to wind up in the days of Jacob's trouble, where many of us are going to be confused, and we're going to be sent to FEMA camps, and a lot of prophecies involved here. But I'm going to try to stick to Halloween and these pagan rituals that we shouldn't be doing. But this is why this is happening, because they want to destroy us as a people. They don't want us to flock back to our ways. Okay, so they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. We are the hidden ones, because we're hidden because we don't know. We've been dragged out of our places. We've been pushed out of where we even stemmed from as a people, back to a land unknown. Okay, so we are the lost. We are the hidden ones. Okay, they have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation." Okay, so they consulted to cut us off from being a nation. Okay, so you got to understand that this was a conspiracy. That's why nowadays we don't think that we're part of a conspiracy. We don't even understand that we are those people. But this is what they conspired to do. So let me read on. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." So you don't even remember that you are an Israelite. You don't even know that you are actually God's elected people. Okay, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Okay, so this has been a plan in the making for centuries, for thousands of years. Okay, this has been happening to us over and over and over again, and that's why the prophets are back to wake you out of this slumber and have you understand that we need to break away from this systematic destruction of our minds and of our beings. Okay, so this is what you're doing when you're going into these customs. Okay, so which the Most High does not approve of, not one bit. But you think that you say that you love God, but you want to perform rituals towards a holiday, and then you want to clean it up and say, "No, well, it's for the kids now. We don't go back to that." No, but you understand these things stemmed in darkness, and they will always be dark. Okay, all right. So let's go to Leviticus 19 and 31. "Regard not them that have familiar spirits." Okay, don't be regarding these people with these familiar evil spirits. Okay, all right, and then you want to familiarize yourself with them. Okay, so neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. Okay, like I told you in Deuteronomy 7 and 6, he chose you. He's the Lord your God, the God of Israel, the God of the Israelites, your God. And he doesn't want you to be dealing with this witchcraft, this wizardry. All this stuff is based in all this, in all these opposing spirits, contrary to the Most High's a righteous spirit that should be within you. Okay, it is not within you if you're conducting yourself in this manner, if you're straying away from the Lord's from Yahweh's the Most High Yahweh, which is his name in the Paleo Hebrew. Yes, we know his name, and yes, we know his son's name, Yahweh Shai. Okay. This is easily broken down, okay? Because there is no J in the Hebrew, so there's no Jesus. That's an homage to another god. That's how they superimpose Zeus's name into what the Christ name should be. His name was Yahushai, which later on became Yeshua in the Yiddish, but it only means Joshua, but in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahushai. Okay, so we should accustom to call him the right name. Okay, like a white person wouldn't let you call him Pablo if his name was Paul. Okay, you say, "Hey, Pablo," he'd be, "No, my name is Paul." Okay, all right. So but we're easily switch up our names to whatever they want to call us, right? Especially when they want to call us niggas and spicks. Okay, so moving on, man. Let's go one chapter over in Levitical to bring home this point again. Levitical 20:6, and the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits and after wizards to go whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul, and I will cut him off from among his people. So he will cut you off from being an Israelite. So that's why 2/3 of our people are going to die following these people, following the way of the heathen, performing these traditions, straying away from the Lord, from the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, that's how we're going to get cut off, because we're not keeping to his ways, his traditions. We want to do the way of wizards, witches, and ghouls, and demons, and foreign spirits. Okay, contrary to our people. Okay, so he'll just cut us off, and you want to be with them, then you're going to stay with them. You're going to die with them. You're going to be destroyed with them. Okay, so just understand this. Okay, don't go whoring after their ways. Okay, because that's what you're doing. You're prostituting yourself to their ways. Okay. All right, so let's go back to Deuteronomy 18:11. Let's go to back to Deuteronomy, but to chapter 18 and verse 11. And so it says, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. Okay, a necromancer is someone. Let's actually. I'm not even going to paraphrase it. I'm going to go to the word. What a necromancer is. Okay, and I'm going to give you the definition right here out of the right out of the Blue Letter Bible. Here we go. Okay. So you know that we study the Hebrew to understand how deep we go into the word to get the correct understanding. The Hebrew word for
Strong's H 1875.
Darash, necromancer.
Darash.
Okay, Darash. Okay, which is H 1875, and it says to resort, to seek with care, inquire, require, to resort frequently, a place, tread a place, to consult, inquire, seek of heathen gods, necromancers. Okay, to seek deity in prayer and worship. So you're actually worshiping. You're worshiping these deities, these gods, which God is highly, highly, highly against idolatry and lending yourself to other gods. Okay, so don't be a necromancer. Be a necromancer. Okay. You won't get that. That's a plug for you, my brother Deacon. Deacon Hakar from the Sakari. Shalom to you, brother. I understand. I understand your verses when others don't. But yeah. So yeah, don't be a necromancer. Be a necromancer. All right. And of course, with your wife. All right. All right. All right. But that's a pun y'all might not get, but let's move on. Matthew 12:46. Okay. For those that say, oh, well, he's only in the Old Testament, I've already given the breakdown of the Old and the New, and how we're not in the New Covenant, and how uh, the Old and the New coincide with each other, how the prophets quote the Old to the New, and how it was Protestant councils and the Council of Nicaea that was responsible for dividing the scriptures, because the scriptures weren't all like this. They didn't have Bibles back in the days. They had scriptures, scrolls, tablets, and that's how they understood the scriptures. So there was no old and new. And then when the prophets of the New Testament were given it, there was no New Testament that they were going by. Okay, they were writing the words that you find yourself in the New Testament, but most of the things that they were saying, they were quoting from the Old. But that's all another lesson in class, which I have some like that, and you can look into those. Okay, but listen, this goes deeper than what I want to do as a 30-minute lesson, and I'm already at 30 minutes right now, and I'm going to try to knock this out in the next 5 or 10. Man, I really try to keep these things at under an hour, and would like to give you just a quick cut on something for 30 minutes, man. But it's just, there's so much to be explained, but so much that pertains to you as a people, that's important for you to know, important for you to start seeking the knowledge, to understand who you are as a people. Get some purpose in your life. Stop following like a drone over and over and over again in a robotic, systematic way of destruction that has been laid out for you, and you still keep to that blueprint instead of keeping to the Most High's blueprint that was intended for you. And you know, I do this out of love. I ain't doing this to take away your holidays, and because we don't need that crap. We have our high holy days that we can enjoy. We just need to reprogram ourselves. We need to readapt, okay? And we need to adapt to our ways, not their ways, and make the best of our ways, not make the best of their ways, and teach our children to do so. In fact, that'll bring me to let's go to Proverbs. I was gonna go to Matthew, but let's go real quick to Proverbs, because this, you know, you guys want to make this about the kids. And so let's go to Proverbs 22:6, so that we understand that, you know, your kids are only going to mirror you in what you instill in them. Okay, Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So if you instill the right things in your children, if you instill the ways of the Most High God in your children, then guess what? They're gonna follow in those ways, and and systematically we will get back to our ways. Okay, but it's imperative that we break the cycles right here, right now. Okay, and we start teaching our children before it's too late, before they're so indulged in everything, and then you feel guilty because you can't give them these things no more. Oh, because you can't take them trick or treating, because you don't you want to take the risk of some weirdo putting some poison in your candy, or back in the days when I was growing up, there was weirdos putting razor blades in candy apples, putting freaking push pins and needles and stuff inside. Come on, man. You know, the intent of this holiday has always been evil, but you want to go along with it. I don't understand. How can we say that we know God or love God and still want to take a day to exalt Satan? That has it don't compute in my brain. It doesn't make no sense. It doesn't compute in my spirit in no way, no how. Have I ever liked Halloween? But I guess that was always in my spirit. Okay, so Matthew 12:46. All right, and this is Christ speaking. Okay, so I mean, when you don't take Christ's words for it, I don't know what. And there's so many things that I've told you that Christ said that goes contrary to your indoctrination through falsehood of Christianity, which was established by your enemy to follow in the wrong procedures so that you can be destroyed as a people. But 12 and 46 says, while he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him. Hold on. Salakia, 12 and 46. Why am I off? Excuse me, I went one forward. It's 12 and 45. I don't know what I was doing when I wrote that. Salakia. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits, more wicked than himself, and they entered in and dwelled there. And the last state of the man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. So the more we indulge, the more we put distance between us and the Most High's ways, we're just going to fall more and more and more into wickedness. And that's why he's making a comparison to the wicked generation, because we will continue doing wickedness as long as we're following the way of the heathen, as long as we're following their way and not God's way, not the Most High's way. All right, so get that understanding. We need to start separating. Okay, so let me try to wrap this up in under 45. Let's go to 1 Timothy 4 and 1. We're dealing here in the New Testament, just to give you some New Testament for those that don't like to hear the Old Testament, which that's a folly unto you. But 1 Timothy 4 and 1 states as such. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. So for those that think that you're getting closer to God, or that you love God and you go to church ritualistically, even these churches promote some of these holidays, like Easter, homage to a god named Estorus, Mother's Day, God of Tammuz, Halloween, Shamahan, Christmas, Nimrod, Thanksgiving, your captors, while you laid in blood, in puddles of blood, and destroyed as a people by the conquistadors, tearing you up. They were sitting at a table enjoying their Thanksgiving dinner while you was in slavery and captivity. They were celebrating your conquest. Okay, all right. So I'm just gonna leave that at that right there. Let's just close it out right there. Halloween, no bueno, brothers and sisters. Wake up. I'm here for you. I do this out of love. Teach your children new ways. Buy them candy whenever you want. All right. Take time to enjoy your children. Don't wait for foolish holidays and doctrines of devils to try to please your children. Make them happy every day and teach them in the way of the Most High. And guess what? They'll be good, honoring children, as you should be a good honoring child to you, an obedient child to the Most High, your Father. So this is simple. I tell people all the time, don't the scriptures are not complicated. God says do, you do. God says just keep the ways of the Most High God, his laws, his statutes, and his commandments, which at no point no one on the face of this earth or in the heavens or in the skies or anywhere came to debunk his word. His word stands. Malachi 3 and 6 says, I change not. Okay. Isaiah says his word does not come back void. Okay. So and his promises stand. So, his word is everlasting. And you kid yourself to think that someone came to change that. Even Christ himself said that is not his doctrine, he follows the doctrine of him that sent him. So even Christ himself gave all glory and homage to the Most High. He exalted the Most High. He gave it all up to the Most High, to his Father. All right, so even he stated that he not one jot nor one tittle shall pass from the law to all be fulfilled. Okay, so all hasn't been fulfilled. And even when all will be fulfilled, because you would think that fulfillment of all would be him coming back and establishing the laws in our hearts, and where I wouldn't have to be here on YouTube trying to teach, or your neighbor teaching your neighbor, or anybody teaching anybody, because everything would be set straight by Yahweh's return. Okay, and him setting straight when he establishes his kingdom on earth, and he lays down the law. But the law is just going to be in your spirit. And it'll be in your spirit because you'll be of the elect. You have made it to the promised land by that time. So the people that will make it there is because they've been obedient to the law when it wasn't written in their hearts, when it was written in the scriptures. We stuck to the blueprint, we stuck to the plan, and we endured to the end, right? Okay, he says it's his saints that will endure to the end, those that keep the commandments. Okay, so this is something we must do. This is the only way we can show obedience to the Most High God. Okay, we're not under the law. Get this. So for all you newcomers that don't understand, we're not under the law. We keep the law. We keep the law because it's obedience to the Most High. It's what he established for us as rules for the children of Israel to follow, to show that we do love him. It's the only way we can show that we love him. In fact, I'll close out with that. Let's go to 1 Peter 5 and 3. 1 John 5 and 3. 1 John 5 and 3. Salakia. All right. So let's go to 5 and 2. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. That's simple. And the commandment is not just 10. It's everything that he commanded you to do. If he says, don't do this, this is abominable to me, or this is not for you, then you don't do it. And if he says do, and it's okay for us to do, then we do. All right, we walk as he says walk, and we don't walk in the way of the heathen. With that, I say, Kahalal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Hallelujah. Shalom, Israel.